Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp and Chance Boxing. I am your host, Bobby Sampson, joined as always, my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how you doing on this Thursday morning?
Pretty good yourself.
Can't complain, brother man. Here we are. The weekend is upon us. Quite basically in terms of a casual fan boxing kind of mode, if that's what I don't know what to call it, man. Like if there aren't big fights, it's up for the casual fan. Like I mean, there's fights every weekend. We have a bunch of cards here. We got Michaela Mayer fighting this weekend. We got Bautista fighting this weekend as well, which are notable names, obviously, but they don't carry that punch and oomph that make everybody want to go in to watch. You know what I mean?
No.
And that's nothing against any of these great talents. It's just a weekend of boxing. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's a quiet weekend of boxing. Absolutely, there's fights every weekend in every country, but marquee names aren't fighting this weekend. This is the way it is.
Yeah, I think everything kind of picks up on the 14th, I think it is, when we get the Jake Paul tank. That's probably the
Dang.
next big one here. But let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about the big one that just happened with a lot of controversy attached to it. Fabio Wardley versus the one and only Joseph Parker, who I said, how many more hoops does this guy have to jump through? Well, man, it looks like he's going to have to jump through a bunch now, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because it was a controversial stoppage. Your thoughts on the fight overall, first off?
It was a good fight, really exciting. I mean, Parker was up on the scorecard by a few rounds, but Wardley, he was game fighter too. They're hitting each other hard, a lot of exciting moments. Wardley rocked him a few times. If the ref wanted to stop the fight, it could have been a few rounds prior to that, not when he did stop it. So, I
Think he
mean,
was going to
if he would have
stop.
stopped it before, nobody really would have argued. Parker got wobbled a few times. He could have stopped it then. I'm glad he didn't. I think what happened with Howard Foster is a lot of people will say, oh, he was cheering for the English guy, he was rooting for him. Well, that's not what it was. What it was, he got caught up in the hype. The crowd was going crazy. He jumped the gun. He was a little overzealous. I know the ref's job is to protect the fighters, but in that case, in that scenario right there, those punches weren't really landing. Joseph was defending himself. He was fine. Even if you watch the replay, Howard Foster stops the fight. Joseph Parker kind of gave a little bit of an elbow. Like, what are you doing? And you could see he had his wits about him. So it
Well,
was
yeah, I
a
mean,
great fight. It's an unfortunate stoppage,
yeah.
and the ref wasn't in on it. It wasn't a rigged fight. He just got caught up in the moment and overstepped his bounds. It's
Well,
unfortunate though. I feel bad for Parker. He would have won the fight had we went to a decision.
but it didn't go to decision and he
Yeah,
didn't
I
win the
know.
fight, which
I
means
know.
he didn't do enough to get the job done. I'm sorry to say, nothing against Joseph
Yeah,
Parker. Okay, but I do feel bad for him. I truly do. But let's look at it from this perspective. We got a guy like Wardley. I mean, you want to talk about a step up in competition? This is a step up from Johnny Fisher,
mm-hmm.
who Dave Allen, all those guys. That
Oh
was
yeah.
his realm. That was his realm,
Justice Sweeney.
right? You know what I mean? That was the plane of his playing field. He
Yeah,
hadn't gotten like if we're talking English, he was in the Champion League and not the Premier League.
yeah.
Right now he's been elevated. Not to say
Mm-hmm.
that and anyway, he put on a great effort. And but let's be honest, Parker ate everything he had.
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't go down, he didn't, but he left himself open to take those shots on a continuous basis. I thought, and I said this on the show as well, that okay, his best chance of winning Wardley is to finish this in the 4 rounds, get that power out there. But once
Mm-hmm.
Parker realized after 4 rounds he could taste that power and he could handle it, it was a different fight. Then I thought, okay, he's just going to break him down, but he came back. He second round, fifth round, maybe I would say, eighth round for sure, the
Mm-hmm.
10th round. And this is where it gets interesting now, from a Howard Foster standpoint. If you're going to stop the fight, in my opinion, you stop the fight in the 10th round at the end there when he was wobbly and was really, really, discombobulated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where
Then
the
you
fight
could.
could have been stopped, in my opinion. You come into the 11th round, Parker, for 2/3 of that round, had only thrown 7 punches. Let's
Mm-hmm.
keep that in mind. Wardley came out with that crazy combination, just flaying. And I looked at it, it was just like this flaying arms,
Yeah.
right? The last 3 shots, 2 of them didn't connect. One of them, the left, connected pretty hard. I would have
No,
to
got
give
him
it
good.
that. It got him good, and that's where Howard jumped in,
Yeah.
right? But it was kind of funny because you look at Parker looking at him like this, like if you don't have your wits about you, like you said, you wouldn't instantaneously give that glancing look, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, what are you doing?" kind of sort of a deal.
I think that Foster, like you said, he could have stopped it before. I think in his mind, he would say if you were to ask him, it was an accumulation of damage. He kept getting rocked. He was eating some heavy shots, so I jumped in there. He knows in his mind it was premature to do that. It's unfortunate. But you know what? Wardley's last two fights did it to Hooney. He was losing the fight. He knocked out Hooney late rounds.
Yeah.
Same thing with Parker. Did it twice now.
No, he's done it twice. Yeah, no, absolutely. And take
He'll
that
give,
away
and
from
honestly
Fabio.
though, Wardley will give Usyk more of a challenge than I think Parker would. Parker's a little bit slower. He just, I don't know, Wardley's a little bit quicker, hits a little bit harder. This will be more of a challenge. Usyk will still win easily, but this will be a little bit harder for him than it would be if he would box circles around Parker.
Look, you know what?
So,
I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at who's standing in front of everyone, and in the name of Usyk, and you know, I have no reason to doubt that this guy can't beat anybody on any given day now. Like, I mean,
he will. Yeah.
well, you know what I mean? Like, how many times have I bet against him?
Yeah, me too.
Right, all of us, a lot of us have, right? And he keeps proving us wrong again and again and again. The
Wardley
heavyweight
did say
division,
though, he did say I will rematch Parker after I fight Usyk. He said I will rematch him.
no, and then hey, great, but
No.
but you know, the reality of it is, and you know what, maybe it'll be for undisputed at that point. Then again, who knows, right? I mean, the heavyweight division in the last 5 years, since 2020, since the pandemic, has just been a roller coaster. You look at the names that we're supposed, like at this point, right now, we should have been talking about that fight already happening between Fury and AJ, and you know, one of those guys should have been undisputed, and this and that. Yeah, but then this little rabbit shows up out of nowhere, cruiserweight, and destroys every scenario, every possibility, every single storyline that was predicted to
make himself one of the greatest heavyweights to ever do it. He beat Joshua twice, Dubois twice, Fury twice. The guy just doesn't lose. He's too smart.
Doesn't lose, and I don't know what else you can do, right? And if you look at Fabio Wardley, yeah, he's got power, but I guess the question remains: who has more power? Would it be Fury or would it be Wardley? In your opinion, I mean, without
Fury.
Okay, so if he can eat
Fury
shots,
yeah,
what's Wardley shots going to do to him?
He's gonna take him,
right? And you know, and it's nothing against Wardley. Wardley's a great fighter. Taking away from him, he showed up and he got the job done. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. He got the job done, and it wasn't one of those situations where he was dominated the whole fight and he had that one moment and Howard Foster stopped it. No, he showed us throughout that entire 11 rounds that he belonged there.
Yeah,
right?
He stung Parker a few times.
He did, and you could visibly see it, especially in that 10th round. Again, if you were going to stop it in favor of Wardley, I don't think anyone would have had a problem if he had stopped it in the 10th round.
Exactly. It's unfortunate ending to a fight. UK gets a bad rap. You know, you fight one of their Englishmen over there. They say the judges are obscure. But you know what? There's an American judge on the panel, right? Yeah, so they try to make them for different countries. See, the ref is biased.
Look, it doesn't matter where you fight in the world. This shit happens everywhere. That happens in North America. Look at the Mexican guys. Look, at Canelo fights and stuff like that. How many of those fights should have gone the other way?
Look what happened to Pacquiao against Barrios.
Look at Pacquiao at Barrios, right? I mean, it doesn't end anywhere. I mean, this kind of officiating, this kind of hasty decision making is a constant in the
and a big myth about boxing. I'll clear it up right now because I do a lot of boxing history research. Boxing is not rigged.
No.
Okay. Back in the day when the mob was connected in there, they might say, "Hey, you like Ali his crew would tell Liston, or sorry, saying, listen, you're taking a fall, or else we're going to kill your family." That doesn't happen anymore.
No.
So for this to be rigged, you'd have to have the judges in on it, the ref in on it, promoters in on it. Somebody would leak this information out. It'd be a big investigation by the government. It doesn't happen. Is there biases? Yes. Do you play the favorites? Yes. That happens when you're in that building. You don't realize you're watching all the crowd noise and the adrenaline influences the judges, it influences the referees. They're human. They get caught up in this, and it's unfortunate that it happens in boxing more than UFC. Seems to be a better judging than we do.
Well, you know, we can talk about that too. I mean, look what happened this Saturday in Abu Dhabi with Tom Aspinall and Sierra Gone. I mean, I know we're a boxing show, but I mean, shit. These two events were back to back. I mean, we literally walked into one controversy out of one controversy. If you were watching UFC that morning as well, right into a second controversy, which with this one. And you know what, though, to be fair, man, I'm calling it a controversy, but I don't think it was a controversy.
No,
I mean,
he was at the hospital with a big eye patch on his eye, dude. Did you see that?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
massive eye patch. Tom Aspinall. Anybody that thinks that Tom Aspinall is scared
No,
of
no, no,
Kane
no.
is
Sorry,
not.
sorry, sorry. I apologize. I'm talking about the boxing. I really don't think it was a controversy.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Like
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, a lot of people think that
but the
Aspinall
Aspinall one,
was faking it. He wasn't faking it.
no.
He got his eye poked. He was at the hospital with a big eye patch on. The doctors don't put an eye patch on your eye for no reason, just because you say so. There has to be something to it. And he's not scared of Gane, and Gane's not scared of Aspinall. It's an unfortunate thing to have made event. The crowd was booing. They paid a lot of money, $700 a ticket for some of these seats, and
But hey, I get
finally
it.
made
But
money.
I mean, it's kind of funny, how they're villainizing Tom, yet the
But
guy.
Gane was the one poking the eyes.
But it wasn't just that poke, dude. You go back to the takedown attempt in
Mm-hmm.
that fight. Apparently there was about 4 to 7 eye pokes, in total.
Gane's known as a being dirty fighter. He does low blows. He does all this kind of eye poking.
Right?
He
Like
tries to
he
get
could
the
get his
edge.
shots in and whatnot. I don't think Aspinall's afraid to fight anybody. But I mean, it just kind of again, it was just one of those situations. If you can't see, you can't see. I don't care
Yeah.
who you are. And if you're going up against okay, dude, you're training some dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from a trainer standpoint, okay, would you want your fighter to be in the ring with blurred or compromised eyes against a guy who's a precision puncher?
No, you're gonna get knocked unconscious. You can't see out of one eye. You're done. It's impossible.
Right? Like I get it. You're fighting for the heavyweight title. I
Mm-hmm.
understand all of it, but I mean, shit. A bruised calf is very different than a bruised eyeball.
Exactly, dude. And the pain in
Right?
your eyes. Who knows what kind of pain he was in too, right?
I think it was more pain. I'm under the belief that his eyes are okay. There's nothing really wrong with them. He should be fine. He should heal okay.
A lot of
But
people are trying to in MMA are trying to get him to change the gloves, but I don't know what you would change them to avoid the eye pokes. So what would you do? How like a mini boxing glove, and you won't be able to grab as much.
No, but you can't grab because then if you don't have your fingers available,
Exactly. So you can't
can't
change your gloves.
clinch, you can't do the locks on the ground, you can't
Yeah.
grapple, right? I think what I've heard and Joe Rogan's talked about this. There's a guy in Colorado, Gaethje's trainer, Usman's trainer.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name. Apparently, he's designed an amazing glove, which would solve a lot of this.
I haven't seen it.
Well, he was asking too much money, and UFC didn't want to pay it.
Well, fair enough.
Honestly, I'm no MMA guy, but the reality for me would be to have more of a curvature on the glove where you can't extend it as much. Like I think Jim Miller said it best. It's like it's not the glove's fault; it's the fighter.
Exactly. You can't because if you cover their hands, they won't be able to grab the wrestler, won't be able to grab their legs as much and do the arm bars and jiu-jitsu stuff. So it's like the gloves are fine.
Have your own sets.
You got to control yourself. You can't be
right. Like they're saying, "Oh, it's a Muay Thai thing." No, it's not. The Muay Thai guys have gloves on.
Dude, I do.
When they're doing this, when Muay Thai guys are in that stance with their hand outreach like that, it's still in a glove.
Dude, my coach, I get trained in Muay Thai myself by my coach every Sunday. Yeah, that's not a thing.
Right. So people are kind of, it is what it is. But I mean, I think that rematch is probably going to happen in December anyways.
Are they going to rematch 40 fights Usyk?
No. I think the
Aspinall one. Yeah.
I think they're talking about December on that one. All right, but back to Usyk here. Like, so he's got the back injury, but he's been seen dancing around this and that. When do you foresee this fight potentially happening? Are we looking at spring? Dude, that's a long time. This should happen in January, February.
It's up to Usyk. He's the A side now. He's got all the belts, so he calls the shots. I'm thinking spring. He's in no rush to come back. He's not fighting. He's not 100%. His legacy is too important now. He's got the 0. He's got all the belts. He's never lost. So he's not going to do it if he's not 100% just for the sake of fighting. I would say like April, May.
Yeah, I think that's too long, but okay, I get it. I guess.
I don't know for sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he goes sooner.
Yeah, maybe I would say it'd have to be in the first quarter. I mean, think about it. It's only November, right? I mean, we're ending October tomorrow. So November, December, January, February, that's 4 months. I think they could get it done in February, man. They should be.
It depends how he's feeling, right? If he's 100%. He's got to do his training camp still.
How long has it been? How long has it been since he's had his last fight?
It was about 5-6 months.
Yeah, so by that point, we're looking almost a year before he fights again.
As they get older, that's usually what happens, right?
Well, I get it, but then where the governing bodies they're so anxious to rip titles off of everyone.
I know.
They're going to let him walk around.
He's such a
I
such a
get it. He's
superstar that he
earned
gets a
it.
little more.
He's earned it. Out
Mhm.
of anyone, Usyk has earned to decide when he wants to and when he doesn't want to. I have no problem with that, but I just think it's kind of counterproductive to have it run so late. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
That's
speaking of
my
that,
opinion.
they're trying to make Mayweather Pacquiao too.
I heard about that as well, man. I think
That would be a real fight. It wouldn't be an exhibition, because if it's an exhibition, it's
yeah,
not as intriguing.
yeah. No, I get that completely.
That would do, even though Mayweather's 48, Pacquiao is 46.
Not sure
Still do big
if
numbers.
you not yeah, no, you're right. Not sure if you've seen or not the picture with Lomo and Crawford. Lomo's looking good.
Yeah, that's who Bob Aaron wants him to fight. He wants him to come back and fight Manny. That's possible too. Lomo's going to fight again, man. He's looking like he's getting that itch again. I hope so. I love watching them. My favorite fighters to watch.
He probably is, but I think if you're going to bring back Lomo and if you're going to do a Manny Lomo, then Top Rank has to have a platform. You can't fishbowl this out, man.
Oh no! It has to be a big. This is a big event if it happens.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
PBC. Yeah, maybe they will. I don't know what Bob says in January. They're going to announce their streaming deal. We'll see.
Yeah. So we'll see. Let's see what happens until they name that deal. For me, Top Rank is just much. Right?
Yeah.
All right, brother man. I tell you what, we're getting close to the end of our time here. We have prediction leagues coming up here as well. So tell me, anything happened in the world of boxing?
Yeah.
Canadian and international.
Yeah, we got some good ones here. We're gonna go to some American history here. Started off with that. Thomas the Hitman Hearns became the first 4-division world champion when he won the WBC middleweight title with a 4th round KO of Juan Domingo Roldan in a shutout at the Las Vegas Hilton Outdoor Arena in Las Vegas this week, 1987. 10,000 spectators showed up to see Hearns, a big favorite. He took on the bruiser who was from Argentina, Juan, and Hearns demonstrated that he was in a different class. So it's on YouTube. You want to watch a fight? It's pretty exciting. I was watching it a little bit of it last night. And this is some Vancouver boxing history. This is Billy Townsend. He won the Canadian light and welterweight title in 1930s before turning pro at age 16. He fought in 11 main events in New York's Madison Square Gardens, including 4 world champions. A few of the big names he fought, just to mention a few. Billy Petroli is the biggest fight of his career. He also fought Bat Valentino and Benny Leonard and Joe Glick, just to name a few. During his pro career, Townsend fought over 300 fights with only 22 losses. He retired from the ring in 1934, came back in 1936, and he was inducted into the BC Sports Hall of Fame in 1966. One of Vancouver's best ever boxers, over 300 fights. He made it big. He went to Madison Square Garden for a few title fights, so it's pretty big from a kid from Vancouver.
Yeah. Quickly, would you be interested in seeing Richard Torres Jr. versus Moses Atami?
I would be, yeah.
Do you think that should be the fight before either one of them even considers a heavyweight title?
I think so. They both need a few more fights, so I would definitely want to see that.
We're in definitely a transitional phase in the heavyweight division, man, because, I mean, if you think about it right now, anyone who's in that division currently, the way they are, there's no one there for Usyk to fight. I'll make that bold statement.
No, he's going to take on Wardley, I guess, and then we'll see.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying in general, like, you're looking at the range. You got Richard Torres. I think the one guy that boxing really dropped the ball on here is Jared Anderson. But to be fair, Jared Anderson I don't think Jared Anderson's heart is in boxing. He said it himself. He said it himself.
Yeah,
he's only doing this out of necessity. If he didn't have to box, he wouldn't.
He's trying to make an easy buck and then get out.
Exactly, right? So if you have that kind of mentality, I mean,
you're never going to be world champion, that kind of mentality. It's just no way.
Right. So are we getting not into the dark days of the heavyweight division, but more of the obscure days? You know what I mean?
We still got some young talent like Moses and Richard Torres, so I don't think so. I think Usyk still is going to fight till he's 41. What is he, 38, 39? So it's 2-3 more years of Usyk at the top. Yeah. And we're going to have some gatekeepers along the way.
Well, I hope so. But my problem with that is like these young guys shouldn't be sitting around idle.
Fury's saying again he's finished now. Again. So he's done again.
Well, I mean, because every time the contract comes and the money doesn't match him, he goes home like a baby. I'm sorry.
I think he's one of the top paid athletes in the world. He's made 160, 170 million in the last couple years just for fights alone. So he doesn't need money.
The fact the man lost 2 title fights in a row.
Close fight, but he lost them, yeah.
The second one was probably closer than the first one, in my opinion, but still not enough, obviously. Hasn't fought in almost 2 years, and he's still number 1 ranked.
Because they want him to come back. They want to keep him there so he can come back and have a big fight.
What's the point of coming back if you're not into it? Like, I mean, him and I get it, but honestly,
he doesn't need it.
I don't want it. Look, Parker, sorry, AJ Fury, these 2 men are still very capable, but they're shells of themselves. I'm sorry.
They fight, it'd be a lot of fun.
It'd be fun. The banter would be fun in the UK and all this, but internationally, you'll have a little bit of traction. But these guys are shells, man. I mean,
they're getting older now. They've been in a lot of wars.
No, I get that, but this is still the problem in the sport, and this even proves to the point that it doesn't matter how much money Turkey has. These guys are greedy, right? Like, think about that's
what we used to call him, greedy belly, right?
We call him greedy belly, and I mean, you got a guy in Tyson Fury constantly saying it's not about the money. I don't need money, this and that. Then why don't you fight just for fucking whatever?
It is about the money. He's just saying that, but yeah, exactly. I love when Fury fights because he's such a good entertainer. It's so fun watching the press conferences. He's so good on the mic. He's super entertaining. So it's fun when he fights because it's a fun build-up. Fury makes boxing better because he brings some entertainment, and a lot of these guys are dull and they're boring, right? Like Joseph Parker, great guy, no personality, right? So.
No, and I mean, in respect to Parker, even he said, like, look, you know what? We move on. We're gonna go back. We'll fight
first class guy.
Right? Like, I mean, on either front, it is what it is. So I guess we're just in just sit and see kind of deal right now, right? And see where everything goes from here. I'm curious to see when Bibble's ready to come back and what goes on over there.
We got some big fights here all the way in November, right? 5th, we obviously the Jake Paul stuff.
Yeah.
We got Eubank Ben on the 15th. We got Benavidez Yard on the 22nd.
Yeah.
Also got Haney versus Norman.
Yeah.
Inouye's fighting December 27th.
Yeah.
Nakatani's fighting Hernandez. I don't know why they're not fighting each other.
I think this is it. After these 2 fights for these 2 guys, that's going to be the matchup. They both win. We're looking at this probably springtime in Japan.
And one thing, I don't know if you watched Red Corner. They did these 5-minute preview for these fights. I don't know. Go watch their Benavidez Yard fight, and they're saying that. Saying that Yard's going to knock out Benavidez in round 7, and I don't know what's in their beard over there, but that's not happening.
They're backing their man. They're backing their man.
I get it.
Right, I get that.
We're back in signing all the Benavidez. We're back in Benavidez, and not just because I like him and he's nice to us. It's just that I think he's going to knock him out.
Look, anyone can sit here and say that we're homers for Benavidez because of the relationship we had with him. And, the fact that they took me in as family when I was there, of course, I'm going to be a David Benavidez guy. When you get to know someone personally, and you actually can see behind their eyes and actually be close to them and talk to them and have that experience, right? And when you're coming out of a press conference in Vegas, and you're swarmed. And when I'm talking swarmed, these are those moments where I'm glad I'm 6'1", 220, because I can push my way through.
I know.
And he still recognizes you and all those people.
Yeah.
And his team is telling you to meet us here. You know what I mean?
They have a street vibe. They are street in a lot of ways, but they're actually very nice. They're humble in a lot of ways. A lot of the stuff we see on the camera is bravado and Jose Jr.
They're selling themselves because it's the product.
Jose Benavidez Jr. The nicest one of them all. The most.
Can I tell you something, man? He lost to Charlo that night. I was up in the hotel with them. This guy could have locked himself in the room. This guy could have stayed to himself because he just lost, right?
Yeah.
He sat there with me for 25 minutes on a couch, just having a conversation.
Yeah, he's a very personable guy.
Right. So, I mean, that was just an amazing thing. So, you know what? Mad love for Jams and Neutral, but you're fucking wrong, guys. I'm not saying that Yard can't win.
Yeah.
But it's a tall task.
very tall and fast. Benavidez
Very tall task.
he's
And you know,
younger.
he's younger and he
stronger.
had a hard time with Bivol. I'm sorry. If you can't get through Bivol, there's no way you're going to get through David.
It's not the way David hits. It's gonna be a fun fight. Looking forward to it.
No, it should be great. All right, boys and gals, we were hoping to get a friend of ours on the show. Unfortunately, for logistical reasons or for whatever reason, our friend could not make it here today. So shout out to Håkan Ringside Live. He was going to join us from Sweden to talk about his trip to the latest Jake Paul MVP prospect show that happened in Brownsville, Texas, I believe. Yeah. St. Patrick's Island, something like that.
Yep.
So hopefully we can get him on in the next week or so, and we can figure this out. So Håkan, thank you, brother, for attempting and trying. Unfortunately, logistics don't happen, man. I hope you're okay. I hope nothing's wrong. That's the most important thing. And I hope I see your mug in the prediction league here. So you know, we'll try to connect with him at another time.
Yeah.
But Chaz, I think that's it for today, brother.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we covered it all.
Everything we've talked about it. There's really nothing crazy. Like I said, we got Michelle Mayer fighting, or we got Mayer fighting this weekend. Bo Steve fighting this weekend as well. So I mean, there are fights happening all over the place. We got fights in Montreal. So I mean, you name it, brother, man. UK, USA, Canada, fucking probably some obscure countries. You got fights happening this weekend. So there's no shortage for anyone. We got lots of stuff going on. All right. I'm Bobby Sampson. He's Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great ACDC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you, ladies and gentlemen. Time change is upon us this weekend. So if you're afflicted with this stupidity, which I wish they would get rid of, clocks go back. So keep that in mind. You get an extra hour to drink, you get an extra hour to party, and you get an extra hour to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So enjoy it, but remember, just be safe and keep fighting for what you believe in. Maybe social, maybe work, whatever you are trying to achieve in your life, don't stop fighting for it. Keep working hard because no one's going to work for you. The only people that are going to come are the ones that don't want you to win. Samp and Chance are out.